What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video of the Point After Podcast. Today we're staying with the ACC, going with the North Carolina Tar Heels. As always, joined by my co-host Matthew. How's it going, buddy?
It's going good, man. Going good. UNC, one of a personal favorite for me. Love UNC, but there's not a lot to talk about, especially if you're thinking of last year.
Yeah, I think last year you ordered one of our limited edition North Carolina shirts, did you?
I did. I actually thought about wearing it, but I put this one on because I didn't want to show bias. I just wanted,
Right. Yeah.
just to be the logo
Yeah.
for tonight.
We're not covering Alabama tonight, so it works. So
Hence, we're doing previews for multiple teams, so same outfit.
exactly. So starting off, North Carolina, they got a pretty decent schedule. Like you said, there's also not a ton to talk about. But I'll let you get us kicked off with the offense, and then we'll cover the D in the schedule.
I think the offense is more. Let's kind of spit on last year a little bit because we preseason, which still do. I still do love Sam Howell. I think he's gonna do really good in the NFL. Even if he doesn't see playing time for a while, I think when his time comes, he's gonna do just fine. But man, I feel like last year just got wasted for him. In a sense, top 15 passing offense, top 15 scoring passing offense. All the things were there offensively. But nonetheless, wishing the best. Finished up last year 6-7, 0-6 away. I'm sure you'll touch about that a little bit more on defense. But I think this year QB situation is pretty much on lock. I think Drake May is probably your guy going forward. Mac Brown is known to play multiple quarterbacks, with the exception of last year and maybe the year before. He has definitely played multiple quarterbacks in games before. So I don't know who the second person would be. I guess Jacoby Criswell. I think that's his name. I don't know. I didn't put anything about that, but I think Drake May is the guy going forward, and I think he's a really good passing quarterback, and I think that's going to complement well with Josh Downs, who I think is probably the best receiver in the ACC. Um, that's a little bold, but definitely would put him in my top three. Last year, over 101 catches, um, right at 1,400 yards. I think he had 8 or 9 touchdowns. So look at him to definitely be the number one guy. Got an outside threat and Antoine Green. I think that's going to be your deep ball guy. Your if you need a pass, go get it. I think that's the guy you're going to go to. The rest of the wide receiver room is a little unproven. Other than the spring game and the quotes you see online, I didn't get to really see much. I maybe need to hit our good friend up Blake, see if he can give me a little more insight on the Tar Heels. But running back room, same thing, a little unproven. There's capable players. I think there'll be 2 or 3 in the rotation. And, number one guy I think would be British Brooks, based off of how they finished the season last year. And offensive line, they're replacing 3 seniors, so that's going to be a little tough. That's going to be something they're going to have to overcome, early, I think. Haven't really looked at the schedule, and I know we'll talk about it later. But most all of the offensive line have experience, but only returning 5 guys on offense. I think less than 15 total.
They are 114th in the nation in returning production on offense.
Yeah, it says 5. Well, it says 3, but 5 with like experience is what my notes say. So I know I've seen that somewhere.
Yeah, I've
But
got this has got them at 49% of their offensive production last year is returning, and that's 114 out of what is there now 128, 129 maybe. So I mean
yeah,
that's kind of bad, but you also have to look at it as, I mean, I'm sure Sam Howell accounted for a large majority of that. Um, Kind of similar to Bo Nix with Auburn. Like, if your quarterback's gone, then most of the time your production's not gonna, be coming back. But nonetheless, um, UNC did pretty good defensively in terms of pulling in guys from the transfer portal. They pulled in the number 6 defensive lineman, the number 14 linebacker. Sorry, that was regular recruiting. Pulled in the number 6 D line in the nation, number 14 linebacker in the nation. You pulled in uh, 5 3-stars from the portal, good enough for the number 43 class. Um, so Mac Brown did some work in the portal and also did very, very well in recruiting, which is, Mac's been doing that since he was at Texas. He knows how to recruit. And North Carolina's had good classes the past couple of years ever since Mac has taken over. You bring in a new defensive coordinator, good old Gene Chizik. A lot of people should know who that is, but if they're not familiar with him, he was the head coach at Auburn in, what was it, like 2010 to 2015, maybe 2014.
Yep, 14, 15.
Yeah, somewhere around there. He takes over as defensive coordinator after his stint as a ESPN analyst. Um, North Carolina, though, defensively, they have a very young defensive lineman. They get a Virginia transfer, Noah Taylor, who should come in and have an immediate impact on them. Part of that young D lineman, I expect the defensive line recruit that they have. I didn't write his name down like an idiot, but he should come in and have a pretty good season. Linebacker Cedric Gray led them in, I think it's tackles for loss that I have them, or maybe led them in tackles. Yeah, led them in tackles last season. He's coming back, so he's going to be kind of heart and soul of that defense, I think. They were very banged up in the secondary last year. They had just all kinds of injuries. Tony Grimes, he's coming back secondary. I think he's going to be that secondary leader. So Tony Grimes and Cedric Gray should be the two standout names that are names across the country up for all kinds of awards even at the end of the season. But the good news is, on the flip side of how you are on offense, you're returning 78% of your return of your production on defense, good enough for 26th in the country. So defense is going to have to step up and win a few games for North Carolina. I know you mentioned Drake May being the guy. I agree with you on that. I think Drake has a lot of potential. Mac Brown and the offense coordinator just has to find a way to utilize that, help him reach his potential sooner rather than later. Because there's gonna be a lot of pressure on the defense to perform early. Because you're thrown into the meat of your schedule right off the top. It's not very backloaded or anything like that. Like, your schedule is pretty tough throughout.
Yeah, definitely. And North Carolina's a team that loves to run the football just as much as I feel like they love to pass it. Um, top 20, top 20 last couple years in rushing yards per game. So it's gonna be a test, especially to get something going offensively. I think Josh Downs coming back. I think that's huge. I think there was rumors about him, uh, or not rumors, but I'd heard that he had a banged up ankle in spring or something, but I don't think that's anything to be concerned with. It's just rumors or whatever you could say. Somebody he left the practice or something, and nobody would clarify if it was an injury, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything serious.
And there's a lot of fake rumors that come out with spring practice because you see a guy sitting out, and he may be just sitting out because they want to save him for the fall. Don't get hurt over spring. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
a lot of people will sit out or to nurse an injury or to not exploit one or something like that. But looking at their schedule, Matt, I had them down as 3 wins with 7 50-50 games. I think North Carolina matches up pretty much even with about everybody on their schedule outside of Duke, Georgia Tech, Florida A&M, and Georgia State. I've got them matching up 50-50 with App State on September 3rd. Notre Dame comes to town. You get Voltech in Miami. You get Pitt. You get Wake, Virginia, NC State. You got one team that contend for a national championship, and then you got 3 other potential ACC champions on your schedule. North Carolina may be up there as one of the toughest schedules in Division I this year.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. Especially playing North Carolina State at the end. North Carolina State's definitely came on the scene. That's a team we'll cover down the road, but Wake Forest too, right there, all at the end. Probably when you have just went through an absolute mash of games from September to November. So, yeah, I would definitely put this in the top 10 that I've looked at so far.
Yeah, I just pulled up an article specializing, who's got the toughest schedules. I don't see North Carolina on here, but I do see teams like Auburn, Penn State, Arkansas, a lot of schools, Michigan State, a lot of schools that we've covered, and a lot of schools that we're also going to cover in future videos. But I'll give my official prediction as 8-4, Matt. Like I said, you've got about 4 guaranteed wins: Duke, Georgia Tech, Florida A&M, and Georgia State. I think they should win against App State. Not saying they will, but they should. I think you should win against Vatech and Miami. Pitt is 50-50. We literally just talked about them 10 minutes ago. I could see North Carolina winning that. By that time, I'll probably be heavier on Pitt. But right now, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. And then Wake Forest and NC State. I think your guaranteed losses are Notre Dame, NC State, and Miami. So just take away, just win 2 or 3 of those other 50-50 games, and you're looking at a pretty decent season in my eyes.
One thing I noticed about us is we're a lot more confident on predicting a season like this early, predicting how we think a season goes whenever the team we're talking about has a returning quarterback. I was just thinking about that too. That's the only reason I can't say, I'm with you. I think 8-4 is probably the best. That's a really good season, especially coming off from last year. That's a really good season. I know that's not, Tar Heel expectation or anything, but 3-5 in conference last year, I think you definitely want to get above that 50-50 range in conference play. But yeah, I'm with you. 7-5, 8-4. I think that's what you're going to be looking at.
I've heard some people talk about like we were not we as in me and you, but we as in us non-casuals of college football. We're a year early on North Carolina. And what they're saying is like last year there's a lot of predictions for North Carolina to win the ACC to make the college football playoffs. I mean, we were in that boat. We said the same thing about Iowa State. But there's a lot of people saying that, you were a year earlier, you were 2 years earlier on North Carolina. I don't see us being – I think they had a better team last year than they do currently right now. And I think a lot of that is mostly just because of the return in production. They're inexperienced on offense. Defensively, they obviously match up really well, but I said this – I can't remember which video it was, but defense doesn't win championships like they used to. You have to have a good defense, yes, but you look at 2011 Alabama, defense won them championships. You look at, 2016 Alabama, that was the best defense Alabama's ever had, and they still lost the national championship. So defenses play a large factor, obviously, but your defense being better than your offense just doesn't really get it done anymore.
Yeah, I think hey, year 4 for Mac Brown, like I said earlier, I think it's kind of do or die for Mac Brown. Not necessarily as in terms of getting fired, but in terms of fans that want to watch football games. Like you don't want Tar Heel fans bypassing football season for basketball, But nonetheless, hey, 7-5, 8-4. I think they could slip up and get a big win somewhere in the season. I don't know if that'll be Virginia Tech, Miami, North Carolina State. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that was a beautiful explanation by you. Like this is not Mac Brown's hot seat year, but this is his hot seat with interest. Like if it's a good year, then North Carolina football is going to continue to rise. If it's a 6-6, 7-5 year, then people are going to start looking forward to basketball season, like you said.
Yep. So. A close loss to Notre Dame would do you a lot of good.
It would. Yeah, that one's at home. I mean, the home games you have are in your favor. You get Vatech at home, Notre Dame at home, Pitt at home, NC State at home. So the games you need to be at home are at home. So that should play in the favor of the Tar Heels. But anything else on North Carolina?
Hey, go Heels, baby. Great day to be a Tar Heel.
So, anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. We're up like 20 subscribers since we started all these preview videos, so thank you guys for the support. Additionally, leave in the comment section what you guys predict North Carolina's schedule or their record will be this year. Like, I mean, we've said it. It's a brutal schedule, but we're setting the bar at about 7-5, 8-4. But realistically, probably should expect 6-6. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.